Down at the very bottom of our world, there's a continent of ghosts and shadows. A place so alien, it almost feels like it belongs on another planet. We're talking, of course, about Antarctica. So, what secrets are really buried under all that ice? For centuries, we just thought of it as an empty wasteland, a giant white desert. But we were so wrong. Deep beneath the ice, in that crushing, absolute darkness, Antarctica has been holding on to secrets. And those secrets, well, they're finally starting to come to light.
Okay, so to really get a handle on these discoveries, you first have to understand the place itself. Antarctica, it's a continent of pure extremity, kind of like a guardian of the unknown.
I mean, the scale is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. We're talking about a landmass 1.5 times the size of the entire United States. That's just staggering. It's a true lost world. And get this, almost all of it is buried. It's crushed under an ice sheet that's up to 5 kilometers thick in some places. Can you even imagine that? The weight is so immense that it's literally pushed the continent down into the Earth's crust. And the cold, well, the cold is a weapon. Temperatures can plunge below minus 90 degrees Celsius. That makes it the coldest, the driest, and the highest continent on Earth. And that brutal, brutal environment, that's exactly why its greatest mysteries have stayed hidden for so long. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if I told you that this kingdom of ice was once a world of green? That long before the Great Freeze, Antarctica was absolutely teeming with life. You see, this frozen continent has lived so many different lives. Go back 70 million years, and it was a warm, lush world ruled by giant reptiles. Fast forward a bit, and it was home to some really strange, kind of hybrid-like mammals. And then there's even evidence that suggests it might have been an outpost for ancient human civilizations. And the proof for all of this? It's all locked away deep in the ice. Ever since the 1980s, scientists have been pulling these incredible fossils out of the frozen Earth. And we're not just talking about dinosaurs. We're talking about colossal marine reptiles, things like mosasaurs and plesiosaurs. Some of them stretched up to 36 feet long. Just imagine these massive creatures swimming in warm Antarctic seas. Now, these discoveries were absolutely incredible, but for the most part, they kind of fit with what we already knew about prehistory. But then, in 2009, a team found a fossil that just seemed impossible, something that, by all accounts, just shouldn't exist. So what was it? Well, it was the skeleton of a mammal, about the size of a house cat. But when they analyzed it, they found something truly baffling. This thing appeared to lay eggs. An egg-laying cat? This 25-million-year-old creature, it's from a branch of the evolutionary tree we didn't even know was out there. And the mysteries aren't just millions of years old. Oh, no. In 2014, the story of Antarctica took a truly shocking turn. We're shifting from ancient animals to ancient humans, because for the first time ever, they found human remains on the continent. But here's the thing. These were not ordinary skulls. They were strangely elongated. This is a feature that comes from an ancient practice of binding the head when someone's a child. But what's truly mind-blowing is that skulls just like these have been found thousands of miles away, in places like Peru and Egypt. How do you explain that? It suggests some kind of connection between these ancient civilizations across vast, seemingly impossible distances. So, the discoveries on this continent aren't just rewriting our own planet's history. Some of them are forcing us to look up, way up, towards the stars. Picture this. Deep in a remote valley, there's a pristine white glacier that looks like it's bleeding. A waterfall of red. For more than a century, this place, known as Blood Falls, was a total mystery. So, what on earth could cause solid ice to bleed? Well, modern science finally figured out the color part of the mystery. It turns out there's a hidden lake trapped under the glacier for millions of years. And the water in this lake is super salty, like 3 times saltier than the ocean, and it's packed with iron. So when that iron-rich water finally seeps out and hits the open air for the first time, it basically rusts instantly. And that's what turns the water that deep, disturbing red. But honestly, the real discovery wasn't the color. It was what was living inside that dark, trapped, airless water. Scientists found 17 different kinds of microbes just thriving in there, with no sunlight, no oxygen. Think about what that means. It's proof that life can exist in the most extreme conditions you can imagine, not just on Earth,
But maybe, just maybe, on frozen worlds like Mars or even the moons of Jupiter. It's funny, Antarctica is kind of like a natural magnet for stuff from space. That huge white ice sheet is the perfect background, right? It makes meteorites super easy to spot. And we're not talking a few. Tens of thousands have been pulled from the ice, including one, confirmed by NASA, that came all the way from Mars. And inside that rock from Mars, scientists found something that is just astounding. Fossilized structures that some people believe could actually be the remains of ancient Martian bacteria. But of all the secrets Antarctica has given up so far, there is one that just stands apart. A discovery so strange, so unexplainable, that it still haunts the scientific community to this day. All right, so the story goes like this. A team of archaeologists is drilling deep, deep into the ice. They get way down there, about 1,100 feet below the surface, when their equipment hits something solid. And whatever it wasn't rock. So after this incredibly difficult, painstaking excavation, they finally uncovered what it was. A skeleton. And it was massive, 8 feet long. And its bones, they were unlike anything these experts had ever seen before. For years, those remains were studied by experts all over the world. They compared it to every known species, both living and extinct, and the conclusion? It was unanimous, and frankly, it was chilling. The skeleton belonged to no animal known to science. It matched absolutely nothing. So let that sink in. An 8-foot creature with a skeleton that matches nothing known on this planet, found buried deep within the Antarctic ice. This discovery leaves us with this ultimate, really unsettling question. What was it? And maybe, more importantly, as our world keeps warming up and all that ice continues to melt, what else is down there, just waiting in that dark, frozen silence?